What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the 245 podcast, where that is the number of takes that it will take for us to complete a single song, recording our band tour songs this week.
That's a lot of takes.
Yo, is this for?
It is.
This
a
is
lot
for
of
Dort,
takes.
right? So you're doing
Dort Wind Symphony,
and you're making like an album, or
it's
what?
actually not too far off. Yeah, we're making an album. We're on spring break, so the first 3 days we went on a short tour to Omaha and Mitchell. And yesterday we came back, and now for today and the next 2 days, we're going to be in the BJ Han recording all of the songs for an album that will be released eventually. And then we'll go back on the road for the last 4 or 5 days of spring break to Wisconsin. And yeah, that'll be it. But honestly, 245 isn't that far off from a single song. We recorded 2 songs today, and we were around like 130 takes on a day. So a little overestimation, but not too bad.
That is actually incredible.
And you're recording everything separately, right? Or is it all? How's that work?
No, it's all as an ensemble. Like, it's not all the parts separately, but we record each piece kind of in chunks, and then they can splice them together.
Okay.
And it sounded like kind of the rule was you need 2 or 3 like good takes for every measure so that you have options.
Oh my word.
So yeah, it is very tedious and a lot, but we're gonna get through it. It's gonna be good.
And it'll be on Spotify, or where will that be?
Yeah, it'll be on Spotify, iTunes,
Dope.
wherever you stream your music.
Yeah.
You know.
And podcasts.
Oh yeah, of course. Don't forget those.
Do you guys get any money from doing that?
No. Other than scholarship money to be here, no.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I was just wondering because, like, I would guess Dort would probably make some money off of that, right?
Maybe, probably not a lot.
Well, yeah. I guess that's true. It's not going to be a lot no matter what.
But no, we get meals and lodging for all of break, but we don't get paid other than our scholarships.
That makes sense.
Well, you said you're going to Wisconsin, right?
Oh yeah. Segue into your tour?
Yeah, I would say I also went to Wisconsin, or you are going to go, and I went for my choir tour. So our spring break's already started, unlike yours. Well, I guess you have started.
Yeah.
But ours started a little earlier. We had our last day of class last Wednesday, and then we had a day off Thursday, and then Friday morning at the late hours of 6 a.m., the men's choir here at Northwestern went off on our way to Wisconsin.
Hold on. Can I pause just for 1 second? Did you say the late hours of 6 in the morning?
Yeah, that was a joke.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like late hours, like you could stay all the way up till 6 and then it would be the late hours.
No.
He pulled an all-nighter to leave at 6 a.m.
Yeah,
I mean,
not about to do that.
Yeah.
So we did that. We stopped. The funny thing is we left at 6 a.m. and we did something at 7 a.m. We didn't do anything choir related until the next day at like 2 p.m.
No way.
So pretty much the only
What did
reason.
you do for like 30 hours?
So basically, we left at 6 a.m. to get to a school, New Life Academy, at 7 a.m. because they have their morning choir at 7 a.m. So we were singing for them, they were singing for us, and then we sang a couple songs together too. And then we had their like concert choir at 8 a.m. Then we finished that around 9, and then we left on the bus. And then we got to Marshfield, Wisconsin, around a little bit before lunchtime. And then we had lunch there, and then basically had 2 hours to kill before we could check into our hotel. So me and a couple friends just kind of wandered around the little town. We wanted to go explore this like abandoned bowling alley, but then it was locked.
That sounds really cool.
It was kind of cool. I posted a little highlight video. I didn't actually put any footage of us looking into the bowling alley, but I did take some. And so after that, we went and checked in our hotel, and then me and my roommates for the hotel watched both Hunger Games 1 and 2.
Those are great movies.
Which are great movies. I haven't watched them in a while. And then we had dinner, Pizza Hut, provided by choir from Tim Sawyer. And then we went in the pool and we hung out there for a couple hours, and then we went back to the room and we finished Hunger Games 2. We didn't finish it in the afternoon. And then we went to bed and then woke up the next morning, had breakfast, left to leave to go to Rhinelander. And we passed through Wausau. We had lunch there. And then we basically had a concert, and also went to our homestays, and we stayed at someone's house. And the next morning we went and sung at a couple churches. And Sawyer made a really funny joke.
Oh boy.
After the first church. So the first church we sung at was Faith Baptist, and the second one was Calvary. So as we left halfway through the Faith Church service, and as we were all walking out, Sawyer says to the people in the sanctuary, he says, "Now we're heading to Calvary." So we're going from Faith to Calvary. Usually it's the other way around, but we're going Faith to Calvary.
Nice.
And of course, the audience, mostly made up of like people older than 50, just like burst out laughing. I thought that was hilarious. So
Of course, they would find that so funny.
it was pretty funny.
That's a boomer
I'll say.
joke.
Also at the concert, I had my solo in Loch Lomond.
Yeah, big deal.
Yeah, I'm kind of a huge deal. Just kidding. No, I'm not. But I did that. I thought it went pretty good. And I got a few compliments from the people from the crowd afterwards. Said I did a good job. So that was fun. Of course, there's a lot of shenanigans. One guy named Ren, who is in choir, he was going a little crazy. He was grittying everywhere. The usual. So it was fun. It was a good time.
Like everywhere, as in just literally everywhere you went?
Yeah, pretty much. You did.
Okay.
You're like, he's widowy hitting the gwitty.
Okay, is that a thing? Because people have been talking like that on the band tour too, and it's driving me nuts.
I think it is because, yeah, people are like saying that, like, he's widowy hitting the gwitty. I don't know why.
Oh my god.
I'm a big fan of that.
I think it's hilarious.
Why are you a big fan of that? It's so annoying.
Well, this is the first time I've heard it, so I'm sure it'll get annoying eventually, but right now it's really funny.
Yeah. So next time you see Ren, just say that to him.
I will.
Wait, Mike, I saw like a video you put on the Google Photos album or something of like only Ren or some.
Oh,
What was that a video of? I didn't really.
So
I couldn't see what was going on.
We went to Texas Roadhouse, and I've never been there. So
wow.
Have you guys been there?
Yeah.
And do you have it when you went there? They did like the dance.
Yeah.
thing? So the waiters apparently every certain amount of time do this little dance in the aisle. I did not know about this, and they started doing it. And then about 20 seconds in, Ren gets up out of our booth. I'm sitting with Ren. Somehow I ended up at the table with the 4 football players. I don't know how that happened.
Mike, you just fit in so well now that you're a lunk.
Yeah, I'm just huge.
How it came out so badly.
I'm just huge from working out. No. Yeah. So
Joey, stop laughing at me.
Actually surprised. Kylie's actually in the studio right now. She's just chilling. She must be waiting for Mike to be done. But when Mike said, like, I'm huge, she looked at me and shook her head no. So that was really funny. So, yeah. Anyways,
Kylie, you don't know what's up. Mike is huge and don't tell us otherwise.
Yeah.
I don't know, Josh.
Kylie, here.
How can you even hear me?
Kylie, go into the
What?
mic. Say your thoughts.
I don't know, Josh.
she has headphones on, so she's heard us the whole time.
Joey said I could wear them.
Yeah, I said, well, if you're gonna sit,
Hi, Kylie.
Hi, Josh.
if you're gonna sit here, you might
A
as well.
little off-putting that you've been eavesdropping.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, probably should have said that.
I've been just studying for biology.
Oh, for the
Oh, classic. How's
Nice.
that going?
It's kind of
It's the
bad.
reproductive system.
Oh.
Nice.
nice.
Well,
Not much more to say.
Yep. No,
So-
there isn't.
It's
since
just
this
memorizing.
since this episode's coming out before the one with Kylie in it, sneak peek, y'all. Kylie and Mandy coming out in an episode soon. But okay, that's it. I'm gonna mute you now.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Okay, it's just us again.
Except not really. This is so weird now. You're just
No, Mike.
someone I can't see listening.
Okay, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, Texas Roadhouse.
Ren at Texas Roadhouse.
They started their little dance, and then about 30 seconds in, Ren just gets out of the booth and goes and joins them. He doesn't know the dance. He just kind of figures it out as he goes. So yeah, that was my my choir trip and Texas Roadhouse experience. So yeah.
Sounds like a fun time, as tours usually are.
Nothing
Yeah.
like going to Wisconsin for spring break. I think that's on every college student's bucket list right there.
It was kind of painful seeing like all the people's posts on Instagram and Be Real, like
yeah.
them at the beach, and I was like walking around Wisconsin. but
Guys, this is why you don't have Be Real.
there's being real, you know.
Okay, fair.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Sawyer says we go where no other choirs go. So that's what he said.
That's really funny.
It's like, what other choir is going to tour to Rhineland or Wisconsin? None.
He's right. None.
So, there's probably a reason there why, but you know.
Honestly,
Whatever.
just doing like trips with school groups, you can make basically any place fun.
That
Fun
is
and
true.
You enjoy the people you're with.
It's not about where you go. It's about who you go with where.
To an extent.
Something like that.
that holds for quite a lot, but also it's cooler to go like to California than Wisconsin.
Yeah.
That's true.
But you can still make it fun even if it's in Wisconsin.
Absolutely.
Yep, exactly.
Cool. Well, I have an intramural story to tell.
Oh,
if
yes.
you all don't mind.
We love
because
intramural
this-
stories.
This seems to be, this podcast has become like 3/4 intramurals, a quarter other.
Which, by the way, we lost.
Oh,
Frickin'
my
In the
goodness.
final game.
You guys need to tell this first.
Oh, my
Ah,
goodness. To frickin' Marley's
I
team.
can't get over it.
Hey,
We
tone
beat
down
them.
the language, but
To heckin' Marley's team.
that's better.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what? We beat them twice already.
No, like 4 times.
Yeah, we beat them a lot, but then okay. I fact checked. I talked to a kid on the team. He said they played with who they had.
Yeah, that's
what
what
he said.
That's what Ren told me too.
That's what Ren said too. But they had only their top 6 players. Usually they had like 8 or 9, and they had some weak links in there. We were able to. That helped us a lot.
Like the guy you dropped 12 serves on that one time.
Yeah, like that guy. They only had their top 6. So they were good. And not having subs is definitely an advantage in volleyball because everyone stays warm. So that was good. We lost the first set
Yep.
by a couple. Won the first set. And then we went
Second.
to second set. And then we lost the third.
By like 4.
Yeah, it was
pretty
frustrating.
tight.
Yeah, we just made too many mistakes, but like they also, let's see, they had an All-American. They had like, what was Marley? She was probably like freshman of the year or something. Probably.
Something like that.
She was
Yeah, I think she
insane.
was.
But then they also had their setter, which is that's a huge advantage because not everyone can set. So when you have like the best setter in the school play on the team and she's passing to Marley or the All-American, like their spikes were incredible. And then they also had what's his name? Elliot,
Yeah, Elliot Hoyleen.
which he has one time, like I feel like I can jump pretty high. He once spiked a ball over my block. Like he was so high up I couldn't reach it to block it. Like that's how this kid just got crazy bounce. So when you had all those players on one team, we would have had to play a perfect game.
We
to win.
stayed very well with them though.
Oh yeah, that is
Yeah,
very true.
I was going to say, I'm kind of impressed with just those people that you were as close as you were.
Yeah.
Looking at our team versus their team.
Yeah, we shouldn't have. We have no business playing with them, but
Yeah.
we do.
We did.
Somehow we.
Next season.
Yeah. Oh, I did run into a chair though.
That was hilarious.
Wow.
Well, Evan hit the ball up in the air out of bounds. I ran into it and I hit a chair pretty hard. So the real winner of the game was the chair. The real loser of the game was me
Your
and my
shins.
leg. Yeah, but
you
I'm
hobbling
okay.
around now.
No, I'm walking all right. Just bruised it a little bit, so I'm good.
He was in a wheelchair for a couple days.
Yeah. But anyway, enough about us. Enough about us. We don't want to talk about it. We've moved on. I'm definitely
Sorry
not
for bringing up the sore subject.
It's-
but
it's all
I
right.
needed an update.
It's all right.
Also,
Josh.
Mitch wore his Mitch wore his championship shirt from last semester to the championship game.
And I told him as soon as he walked in, I'm like, "We're losing because of you." Oh man.
So you blamed it on Mitch's.
I did blame it. That was you can't be doing stuff like that. You can't be doing stuff like that because if you lose, then you look really, really dumb.
Right,
Anyway.
Kylie? Yeah, she says yeah.
Yeah, she said yeah. Okay,
All right,
Josh, all about you.
Okay. Well, have I talked about soccer intramurals on here yet?
I think a little bit.
What do you guys know? Because whatever you guys know is probably what I've talked about.
From like the fall.
We know it's like kind of inconsistent sometimes.
Yeah, it's like not you have a hard time trying to get people to play.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I guess maybe I haven't talked about indoor ones as much, but we built the sports dome at Dort. So this semester, the indoor soccer intramurals are happening in there, which has been really fun. And also because the soccer season isn't in session and like soccer players are allowed to play, there's a lot more teams than there were for the outdoor season. So there ended up being 8 teams, and which is a pretty nice number for intramurals. And my team has, from the very start, seemed like kind of the underdog because we have no like Dort soccer players, and it's just kind of a bunch of random people that I've been able to round up through friends and friends of friends and just any random people I can find, because especially for girls, we often have trouble finding enough people to play. So it's a bunch of random people. Probably most of us played soccer in high school, but some of them just have never even played soccer. So our season started off a little rough. We lost our first game 8 or 9-0.
Oh, jeez. Is no mercy.
Yeah, that we'll come back to the team that did that to us later in the story.
Okay.
The second week, I think we played probably the worst team, and we ended up scraping out a 2-1 win.
Nice.
Which is a bit of a confidence builder, but I also knew they weren't a very good team. The third week, we got 7-0'd. So we were 2 losses in, both very bad, and 1 very close win. And then the third week, wait, no, that was 3 weeks. The fourth week, we ended up getting another player from, he was actually the captain of a different team, but he played on the JV soccer team, and for some reason, someone on our team like decided it was like he should just join us. I think he was friends with like a few of the girls who play on our team. So he played for us, and just even having one more competent person was really nice and helpful. And we ended up in that game. Oh, I'm sort of forgetting. I'm pretty sure in that game we won just in regulation, and it was another close one, like 2-1 or 3-2 or something. And that was against a little better team. So I was like, okay, things are going good. We're doing okay. And then the last game of the season, that kid played for us again, and some of our like weaker links didn't show up. So that meant we didn't really have any subs, but like everyone who was playing was pretty solid. And we were playing a pretty decent team, and it kind of went back and forth, and then it ended up being tied, so we went to shootouts, and this was the last game of the regular season. We do 5 games in the regular season, and this was the play-in game for the playoffs. So 2 teams were already in the playoffs based on their record, and then the other 2 games were play-in games. So we were in a play-in game, so if we lost, we were out of the playoffs. If we won, we were in the playoffs, and it went to a shootout, and we went through five players on each team, and it ended up tied 3-3 at the end of that. So then we did sudden death, and I hadn't shot in the regular first 5. So I did our first shot of sudden death, and I made it, and then their guy missed. So we ended up winning. So
let's go.
Somehow, after a very rough start, we were in the playoffs.
Hold on. Quick question, Josh. Why did they not have you shoot in the first 5? I think you would be in the top 5 penalty kickers.
Yeah, maybe. We did 3 boys and 2 girls, and I would say I probably am in the top 3, but I don't like pressure, and so and other people were like willing to do it, so I just didn't volunteer, and other people stepped up. But then,
oh, nice.
Yeah, once it got to final death, sudden death, I was like the next person. So I just said, okay, I'll do it. Probably backfired because that was even more pressure.
Yeah. Yeah, you're like, okay, yeah, now I'll backpack this team and just carry them to victory.
Yeah.
No big deal.
But I actually surprised
time you
myself.
could-
That was a really solid shot. Like I typically don't do well with PKs, but yeah, it was a nice lower corner. So
Left or right?
it was lower right.
Oh, nice.
Got him.
Got him. Yeah. So we're in the playoffs, which was a surprise to me and probably some other people in the tournament as well, because a lot of people had seen like the 2 games where we got destroyed and we're like, okay, they're trash. It was actually really funny. The guy who like reffed all our intramural soccer games, he thought like we weren't even in the runnings for the playoffs. And then when we won, he's like, wait, you guys like won other games? Because he had just remembered the 2 where we got like destroyed and didn't remember us
No
like
faith.
winning the 2 close ones. So he was kind of funny about it. But then come, I think just last Monday, time has flown, so it seems like longer than that. But it was the playoffs, and we just do playoffs in one night. It was just 4 teams. So at 9:00 were the 2 preliminary games, and we were the 4 seeds, so we were playing the 1 seed. And at the same time, the 3 seed was playing the 2 seed on the other field in the dome, and then the winners would play at 10. So the team that ended up being the 1 seed was the team that played us in the very first game and like 9-0'd us. So I was not feeling much hope. Like I literally said like to our group, our game tonight is at 9. And then I didn't even like tell them that we would play again after 10 because I was like, there's just no way we're winning this. And that team was kind of everyone's least favorite team because it was organized by 2 faculty at Dort, like not even students.
What?
Like Dort faculty
Recruited.
can play apparently in intramurals as long as you're in the directory. But it's 2 like
No way.
younger guys who are one's in charge of like, one's I think in admissions for like international students and the other one's some director of diversity. But especially one of them, a lot of people just don't like, and he just kind of cherry picks. And then they just had a bunch of international students who were really good and also didn't always play the nicest. Anyways, they were probably the least favorite team of everyone and also one of the better teams. So everyone was kind of rooting for us, the underdog. And going into that game, the soccer player from the other team again joined us because his team hadn't even made the playoffs somehow, even though they were probably better than us. And we had, I think one other girl joined our team who I think also played soccer, so that helped too. But we got down in about the first minute, 1-0. We just made a stupid mistake and they got a goal right away. Then a little ways into bit before halftime, we got 1 goal. It was kind of a lucky shot, but we tied it up 1-1. And I think they were already like surprised because they were expecting it to be a blowout because they had beat us so much before, and it was turning out to be harder than they thought. So then the second half came and we were still playing pretty solid. I just decided to hang back on defense because usually I can stop a lot if that's all I'm doing. So I was focusing on that, and we ended up getting another goal, I think with only like 5 minutes left in the game. And then they were going kind of nuts because it seemed more real that they were going to lose.
Yeah.
This is the most entertaining part of playing the best team.
See the fear just fall in their eyes. You love it.
And
you
I could like taste the victory, and it was so satisfying because you could see, like you said, the fear in their eyes that, oh no, it could like actually happen, and it was setting in. But then one of the guys, the faculty, is like actually really good. He played defense for most of the game because he's just super fast and doesn't let anything get by him. But he just went crazy and like sprinted past our entire team with the ball. And I don't know, I think he even got past me and like a lot of other people and just did this wild cross, and it was just pinball in the middle of the field right in front of our goal for like 10 seconds. And finally they got like a putback that went in, and that was with like a minute left. And I was so disappointed because I was like, shoot,
annoying.
we were so close. And I didn't like our chances of winning in a shootout. So then we desperately defended for the last minute and the time ran out. So then we were once again in shootouts. So
Oh my goodness. I'm on the edge of my seat right
I
now.
know.
So this time, for some reason, they didn't do the same thing with like 3 girls or 3 boys and 2 girls. So we just ended up doing all boys. And this time, I think I was the last shooter. So
Pressure.
again,
I hope
putting
this is
myself in
going.
the-
I hope this is going where I think it's going.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna see if I can remember shot by shot.
Let's go.
We started and we made it. Yep, that's right. Then they made it. Then we made it again. And then they shot and it was a really bad shot, but it slipped through our goalie's hands.
Oh,
And it
no.
was painful because it should have been a pretty easy stop. But it was tied 2-2. Then we made it again. And then Logan had a nice save. Our goalie's actually like really good. He doesn't play anymore, but he played goalie in high school, and he's kind of the reason why we even have a chance ever, because he makes some good stops. But he made a stop, so we were up 3-2. Then we made it. Wait, no. Oh, heck, I can't remember. I know it came down to the last round. So we must have missed, or they had a stop somewhere in there. But then it was me. Actually, no, I know what happened. I messed up the whole order. They actually started. So I was like,
Oh,
They
you were the
would have had
last.
yeah, so they would have had a chance after me, but I ended up making it same bottom left, and because they were one behind, they couldn't tie it up with the last one. So we won in the shootout.
No
again.
way.
Let's go.
It was really hype.
Those are the most satisfying wins right there. There
Yeah.
is nothing better than beating a team that is 100% confident that they're going to win. And then you just
Yep.
go out and smack them.
And it was really funny because the 2 and 3 seed, which were their game, got done about the same time, and they were all like coming up and congratulating us, like just
Yeah.
saying, "I'm so glad you beat
Yeah.
that team."
Yeah.
But anyways, then we were in the championship, and the team that I thought was best all along was the other team in the championship, and they beat us pretty soundly, like 5-0, I think, which I kind of expected because we had no subs.
Oh yeah.
And they had like a full bench, and they also had 9 varsity soccer
Oh
players
my
on their team.
goodness.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Which apparently there's no rule against. I swear before the season started, I looked at the rules and there was a rule that you could only have like 3 max soccer players, but they must have taken it off because I looked after and it was no longer there. So it was legal, but it was
That's
still
kind of
like,
ridiculous.
okay, we don't super have a chance
Yeah.
here with our one JV men's
Yeah.
player. But it was still, I told everyone I'll take second any day in that case, in
Yeah.
that situation.
Yeah.
I was kind of insane to get that far. No
Yeah, that's the
intramural
best.
championship T-shirt, but we won in our hearts.
Yeah. And that's what really matters.
Yeah. We did not win in our hearts.
No, we did not.
You lost in reality and in your hearts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sad.
But yeah, I the experience of beating the team that thinks they're gonna win. That was when we won the last semester or
Yeah.
last season.
Yep.
That was
Is the
Yeah.
tennis team.
Yep. And
Yeah.
you started to see the fear in their eyes.
Yep. And they
Yep.
start to crumble,
Yep.
and you're just like, we got
so
this.
satisfying.
Yep.
I thought we had it with Marley's team.
Yeah. We should
Well, I thought we had it before we started,
yeah.
I should say. And then we started playing.
We'll get them next time, boys.
Yep.
Next season.
There's always next semester.
Yep.
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 Well,
Anyways,
that was a bit of a long introduction.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for my story being.
no, don't
Bit
apologize for that
That
story.
was a great story.
That was one of the best stories on the pod.
It also went
Thank you.
exactly how I was hoping it would.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like the perfect redemption arc.
Yeah. I was like, if this all leads to you guys losing this game, I'm going to flip my desk.
It did sort of. Like we
Well,
lost the last game, but we
what
we
really-
won the one that counted.
Yeah, that's exactly what, yeah.
Anyways, this episode, believe it or not, is actually about Micah Clark.
Let's go.
He's here in the studio.
I am.
You've heard him a lot already, but we're going to act like he's a very special guest right now.
Because he is.
We're here to talk about his major.
Let's go.
Yeah.
It
Are
is
we
a
gonna do
good
a walk-in
major.
song for you? I don't think we did.
No,
for
we
Joey.
didn't do it for Joey.
No.
We're
Okay.
not special because we're already on the podcast.
Yeah,
all
that's
the
true.
time.
Yeah.
So
Even though it's featuring you, it's still
Yep.
not
Yep.
a regular special guest. Anyways, Mike, let's start with the most basic question of what is your major?
my major is technical term is media production with an emphasis in video/film. That's kind of complicated.
So that's the
So-
title of this podcast, The Life of a Media Production Major with an emphasis in film. I don't even know what you
Slash
said.
video.
Slash video, yeah.
Minor in marketing and entrepreneurship. No, so
Longest title.
I just say video production. That's the easiest, or media production. I don't say film production.
Yeah, you can't be saying that.
Because that sounds like I'm like a, stuck up film student who wants to go into Hollywood and thinks they're all that and is going to be like a really great director.
Is
Wears,
anyone
like,
else having
wears
deja
like
vu?
scarves and is anyone else having deja vu right now?
Yeah.
No, what?
We'll tell you later.
No, we can tell him now.
S- yeah.
Let's roast this kid.
Someone last year at the film festival won an award, and then they won a second award. And
Yep.
when they went up to do their speech for the second award, the first thing they said was, "Is anyone getting deja vu right now?"
I wanted to punch that guy in the face.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And like
That's so arrogant.
when
Yeah.
he was saying it too, like he like kind of like shook his trophy, like he's like looking at it, like pretending to be like, anyone else getting deja vu right now? So that was kind of
That's funny.
yeah,
Yeah. And that
Don't-
guy wears scarves
yes.
and with stupid hats. You know the hats I'm talking about. The stupid film major hats.
yeah, I know
you're-
exactly what you're talking about. I don't know what they're called though.
Me neither. I think they're a French thing.
Anyways, all this to say, Micah is not a stuck-up
I'm not a
film
film
nerd
major.
Mike
going
is
to
not that
Hollywood.
guy.
No, I'm not that guy. You're not that guy.
Yeah.
Also, because I don't want to go into film. I don't want to do Hollywood stuff. I don't want to like move to California or New York and make short films and Hollywood films and stuff like that. I want to do video production, which I think is very different than film production. Because video production can be more like, marketing, doing stuff for businesses, wedding videos, stuff like that. So that's more what I want to go into. So I say media or video production.
Why did you choose to do that major?
Well, I have loved video stuff my whole life. My dad always had a video camera as I was growing up, making home videos that we still go back and watch sometimes, just of us growing up and stuff. And I always wanted a camera like his so I could, make these little videos for fun because I liked being in front of the camera and I liked taking videos with it. And I would always ask him if I could film stuff. And then when I was like 12, I got an Instagram account. And I started making like little funny skits on there, like 15-second skits. I would make like parodies of ASDF, like Fred, that guy on YouTube, other random little skits. And then when I was 13, I started making longer videos on YouTube. I would make longer skits, like 1 to 2 to 3 minutes. And I've always been a very creative person, always wanting to make stuff. Before I did anything with video, I did daily comic strips for about 2 years when I was like 10 and 11 years old.
I have been living with you for the past 2 years, and I did not know
Yeah, I don't think I've ever told you that.
I think I knew that from.
I
don't
think
even know
you
what,
know.
but I think
You've
I've seen
definitely.
some of
I think
them.
you've seen
Yeah,
some of Josh.
you and Mike go back longer than me and Mike go back, so that makes sense.
True.
Yeah, asterisks there though. Just kidding. Because we do, but like we weren't like good friends, but we knew each other.
No, we knew each other longer than Joey's. Knew.
But I did comic strips. Like I made my own newspaper basically, where I would have like 6 different comic strips that I would do those 6 stories like every day. So like Garfield like has a comic every day. I had
Yeah.
one called Sammy and Tommy that I would
What a
do
creative
every day.
name.
I know.
Shoot.
And I had SeaWorld and other random
Oh,
stuff. I
that's
think I
a-
had one called Garfeld. That was like
Oh.
Garfield's cousin.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, I know. It's very original.
Yeah.
And so I did that before I did video stuff. And I also like wrote stories too. I wrote like 4 books that were parodies of Narnia.
Shoot.
They were called The Chronicles of Africar because I wrote them while I was in Africa.
Oh.
Because my grandparents were missionaries there. So I wrote them when we were visiting them in Africa. So I call them Africar.
Okay.
And, yeah. So I was making stories before I was doing it in video. And then I did Instagram and I did YouTube videos. For a long time, I was like actually like trying to like grow my YouTube channel and like be someone who like was popular on YouTube that made like YouTube videos. And like I even tried to set up an AdSense account and try to make money off of it. But like,
Oh, really?
I only had like 1 cent in my thing and I never got a paycheck, of course. But I would like look at my analytics to see when like the people watched the most. So I would post during that time.
Oh, no.
So I was like trying to like
you were
making strategies.
I remember you were really into it. It was fun to watch.
Is
Yeah.
this like in high school? Like early high school?
This
or middle
was
school?
This was like 7th, 8th grade.
Okay.
Once I hit high school, I stopped caring, and I just didn't have time to make YouTube as much, so I didn't do a lot of
Yeah.
videos. But yeah, Josh, you probably remember that a little bit. I actually like. I mean, I was homeschooled, so
Yep.
Oh,
there
that
you go.
explains
You know.
it.
got a lot of time in my hands.
Yep.
But I did. What did I do? I did 1 video a week for a long time, actually.
Yeah, and they were like all so good and original.
Yeah, I did pretty original videos. I did skits. I did other random stuff that I would just film throughout the week. I did all of my videoing and editing on my iPod Touch.
Wow.
It's the smallest little
That is a throwback right there.
smallest little phone. It's not even a phone. Smallest little smart device. Film and edit on there. I had a little tripod that had a phone mount. And yeah, I just started with the bare minimum. I edited on there too and posted there on YouTube, trying to grow my channel. Obviously, I never made it very far.
What do you mean? I think you learned a lot through that.
I did learn a lot. Yeah.
And it was always cool to see like the progression because you eventually did your laptop or camera come first? I think laptop did.
My
right?
laptop came first. Yeah.
Yeah, because then you got a MacBook Air and then like you saved up enough to get a Canon Rebel
Yep.
and the quality kept getting better and yeah, it was cool.
Yeah. So I mean, I learned a lot about like strategies, I guess, of like trying to build like an engaging video. And something that will keep people engaged. Because I would look at like retention spans on YouTube. I'm like in 7th grade.
Yeah.
I'm looking at like analytics on my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I have like 100 subscribers.
Yeah.
But I don't know why I cared so much. Like I just wanted people to see what I was doing. And yeah, like Josh said, I eventually, how old was I? I was in 8th grade. I got my MacBook Air. That was huge for me. It was, I think $1,000, but I got it for $800 because it was refurbished.
I still remember that price, you being so proud of the savings.
The $800. I was really saving for that. That was the biggest purchase I'd ever made. I think the next one down was my DS, which was like $100. I bought.
Dang.
So this was huge for me.
8 DSs or 1 laptop.
Yeah, basically. And then I got my camera. So I was filming on my iPod Touch still, but I was able to edit on iMovie on my laptop, which had more stuff on it. So it was just easier to edit. So I got to start learning that editing software. And then when I got a camera, I got the Canon Rebel T5i. Doesn't shoot higher than 1080p. If you want to shoot 60 frames, you have to go down to 720. So really not a great camera, but it was a great beginner camera. For me to learn how to use a DSLR. I have no regrets buying it. I think it was a very good investment in that time then.
You got a ton of good use out of it.
I got so much. I used that thing until last year.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't doing anything professional with it before I got my new camera, but I was still using it every once in a while. So I got that, then I started filming on there and editing on my computer. Videos just kept getting better. I even had a shotgun mic on top of the camera. I was caring less about the analytics of the video, but I was still working on like creating engaging videos that were fun and people like to watch, and I like to share them with my family and friends. And I gained a lot of subscribers in high school, like going to high school, and people started watching my videos. When I went to Masterpiece, I remember I gained 20 subscribers in like 2 days after Masterpiece.
Damn.
And I was like, oh my
Skyrocket.
word. Like, this is crazy.
Mr. Popular.
And like, I was known for the Get Me a Goat video that I have on my channel.
Yeah.
Still one of my favorites. That one,
So funny.
I was like known at Masterpiece for making that video because I showed it at one of the open mics. And then I showed it again the next year because people just wanted to see it. But so that was a lot of fun. And to slowly over high school, I slowly got equipment. I wasn't really doing anything professional, so I would just buy things here and there. And then this past year, I've spent too much money on camera equipment. But
Hey, you're also spending other people's money, and that's what's important.
I did the calculations today because I'm looking into buying an external monitor right now for my camera. And I've made more than I've spent, so that's good. At least I've not lost money
Yeah.
in
Breaking
video.
even.
So I'm breaking even. So we're
I
not
think
losing
especially
money.
at this point in your like freelance business, that's a very good place to be because you haven't done a
Yes.
whole lot and you're already like paying off your equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so that's
everything from here on out is pure profit.
Exactly. That's exactly how it's going to work.
Yep.
Anyways, so that's kind of like your whole life story. That was kind of a lot.
Yeah, I don't even know what the original question was.
It was just,
How I got started.
what is your major?
No,
No.
it was why did you choose it?
Yeah,
Let's,
yeah.
let's
Why did I
give
choose
a
it?
little
Right,
more
I
slack.
forgot Joey asked the follow-up.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get into a little more of what you're doing now with it later, which was kind of previewed there. And you've also already advertised your business.
Oh yeah.
But let's hear a little bit more about what you've done in school for this. So how did your freshman and I guess first sophomore semester in your major go? What have been some of your favorite classes? What are some like important things you've learned? I don't know, just school stuff.
It's been really fun. I cannot believe, like, people should be very excited for college when they're in high school and looking forward to that a lot because it's just so much more fun. Like the way college is built is so good. Like, because you don't have classes like all day, like have like longer breaks but like just you get to study what you love to do and you get to hang out with people who also love to do those things. So it's just so fun. I've absolutely loved being here, doing that. I was looking at going to Dort or here at Northwestern to do that. I'm sure I would have had a blast at either place, but chose to go here. Had a
I'm
lot
glad
of fun.
you went to Northwestern. I think you're doing well.
Yeah, I agree. But it's been fun to like learn from other people too, like friends that I have about like what they're doing and ways to get better. But some of the classes I've taken like intro video production, audio production, story structure classes like those. I really like story structure. That one taught me a lot about how to tell a good story. I think especially someone like me who's into like cinematography and editing can kind of focus more sometimes on like, let's get like a really good shot or let's edit this super well, but like, is it even benefiting the story? Like there's a phrase in the film world called murder your darlings.
What?
Which basically means like, even if a shot is really cool and you've spent a lot of time doing it, or if you've spent a lot of time editing like a certain part of the video, if it doesn't add to the story, cut it, murder
Wow.
it, get it out of there. So you might be really proud of a shot, but a shot you're really proud of that doesn't add to the story is not going to keep people engaged. So murder your darlings is a phrase. And so I've taken those classes. I've also taken a class called sound design, learned a lot about like
What?
designing, whatever, Joey.
Joey.
Sorry, my
Designing
bad.
Foley.
Couldn't resist.
It's like sound effects for movies. I'm taking a class next quad called cinematography and lighting. I'm really excited for that one.
That'll be sick.
Learn a lot more about what I love to do mainly, which is camera work. And lighting is very important to film stuff. So learning that.
Yeah, that's true.
Right now I'm in a class called post-production. So that's basically everything editing. And like I said, I've been editing since like 2014, 2015. So I've been editing almost 10 years. So over the course of multiple platforms. So I've had a lot of experience. So I will say I haven't learned a ton in the class yet, but after spring break here, we are going to start learning about After Effects, which I know absolutely nothing about. So I am very excited. That's the part I've been looking forward to the most, is learning about After Effects, just because I know I like special effects and stuff like
You'll
that.
need to send me stuff you make in After Effects because I'm super interested in that.
Yeah.
I want to see it.
Yeah, I've never done it before, and I'm excited to do that because, yeah, I am.
Yeah, that'll be so cool. I think one thing that's interesting, you talked about the story class, story structures, was that it?
Yep.
And that's something I feel like people often forget is such a huge part of videos. When you're watching it, you don't necessarily internalize what the difference between a good and a bad video is.
Yeah.
And so much of it is the story. Obviously, you need to be technically excellent as well. But if it's not engaging or if it doesn't tell a story well, like it's just not gonna work well. So that's cool that you liked that class and learned a lot from it. Let's see.
Oh, I had a question.
Yeah, go.
What are some of the tools and resources you use like in your classes? Do you have a lot of textbooks that you use? Like what software and stuff do you use for editing?
Yeah. So we don't really have any textbooks. I've maybe had only a couple in a couple media classes. But that was like the story structure one. So that one makes more sense. But we use a lot. Well, besides post-production, for any of the classes, you can use any editing software you want. So obviously one of the more popular ones is Adobe Premiere Pro. That's the one we are required to use in post-production. And I've had some experience in that, so it's been nice that I know it already. But I mainly use Final Cut Pro. So I edit everything in there. I just don't want to pay for a subscription for Adobe because they have a monthly thing. So I just wanted to pay one final price for Final Cut, and I have it the rest of my life. So that's nice. Use those. We'll be starting to use some After Effects in post-production, like I said. I use Adobe Audition for all the audio classes I've done, like sound design, audio production. Right now I'm in a class called Radio Production and Strategies. Been using it for that. We're actually recording this podcast on Audition right now. So I'm used to using that quite a bit. I like Logic too, which is the Apple version. I think Logic is better for music recording. I think
You're correct.
I actually much prefer using Audition for like making radio bits and stuff. But I prefer doing music stuff on Logic. So
We edit all of our podcasts on Logic, so
yeah. But these are pretty simple to edit. So, and then we also have a big equipment room here at Northwestern that you can rent out equipment. And I used to get a lot more from that because I didn't have a good camera. Because I had my other camera, but it didn't shoot 4K. So right now, the camera I have is the Canon R6. I have a 24 to 104 millimeter lens on there and a 50 millimeter lens as well. I have a DJI RSC2 gimbal that can be used to like stabilize shots. On my camera, I have a small rig cage and a small rig wooden handle that I think looks pretty sick. Joey, I know you like that handle too.
Oh, I love the handle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's made of wood.
Handle.
It's made of wood, basically.
It's a great handle.
So it looks very cool. I'm in the next few days here probably going to be buying a monitor, so that'll be really nice. Just
there you go.
to be looking or to have like a bigger shot or look at the framing and stuff in the shot.
what size are
easier.
you getting, Mike?
What kind?
What size?
Size.
I think it's 5 or 5.5 inch.
Okay.
So decently sized. It's the Atomos Ninja V or Ninja 5, I guess. And you can look at the monitor, but you can also record through the monitor, record externally into a hard drive. And you can actually record higher quality through the monitor than you can through the camera. So the monitor basically like upgrades your camera somewhat to make it better.
Huh.
So Joey or Josh, you'll probably be the only one that understands this, but you can shoot 10-bit versus 8-bit. And you can also shoot Apple ProRes, which is like Apple's codec instead of H.264.
Does your R6 only shoot H.264?
It does H.264 and 8-bit, and the monitor, if you shoot externally, can do 10-bit and Apple ProRes. So basically you can get a higher quality looking image if you record externally through the monitor. So
That's kind of crazy. What is the monitor connected with?
it's
Like
just an
Thunderbolt?
HDMI to mini HDMI. So
That's really cool.
kind of crazy. I'm probably not going to use that right away because you have to buy a couple extra things for that. So probably just going to use it as a monitor at first, and then eventually I'll do that. So it'll be good to have that option for the future.
Yeah.
So that'll be a good investment since it'll be an upgrade to basically any camera I have. Yeah, we have a lot of audio equipment, video equipment in the equipment room. I've gotten a lot of lights. I've gotten a Zoom H6 recorder, other shotgun microphones and stuff like that to do various things I do, like marketing videos, wedding videos, stuff for classes, and short films for classes and such. So, yeah.
Yeah, maybe let's talk a little bit about what you've done outside of school as far as stuff on your own and last summer, what's upcoming this summer.
Yeah, so last summer I worked for a small real estate business called Twin Cities Property Finder, and I did some video marketing for them, like basically made a bunch of ads for Instagram for them, a bunch of like event recaps that they did and stuff like that. I used my own equipment for that, and because I bought my camera last May, right before I started the internship. I bought it I wasn't intending to buy it that early, but I ended up doing that so I could use it during the internship. And then my first like big job, like freelance job, was the video I did for Avail in the spring of my senior year. So they paid me a little bit of money to make a marketing video for them. And I used the school's camera. I used the school's mic, or like clip-on mic. I used a couple lights that I owned that were cheap off Amazon. But I got something done, and I was proud of it, and I'm still proud of it. My skills have definitely gone further than they were back then, since then. But that was like my big first thing, which eventually led into this other stuff I'm doing. But I did that all summer, the Twin Cities Property Finder stuff. And then in the fall, I had my first, last summer, before the wedding, I had my first big thing, which I made a couple videos for Letterman Sports. They paid me to do some work for them. And as we know, Letterman is owned by my girlfriend's parents, so I wasn't getting an outside client here. I kind of had an in.
Yeah, you kind of did.
But, I'll still take it.
Yeah, work's work.
Yeah.
Work is work.
And I got it on my website and stuff, so that's good. And then in the fall, I did my first wedding, which was a lot of fun.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Again, someone from my church, so not an outside client. Well, they were outside, but we still knew them. And I did my wedding. I was very proud of that, still am. And then I was a second shooter for a wedding in December, and then I just finished my second wedding earlier in February. I posted that on my business account, Ever Clark Productions, on YouTube and Instagram. Wow. So I did that. I have another wedding set for June. I'm filming a couple of the RA's weddings. And then I am working for a business called Safety Speed Manufacturing up in Ham Lake this summer. They're right off Bunker and 65. I'll be doing basically what I did for Twin Cities Property Finder last summer, but for them, obviously. I'll be doing video work for them, like promotional stuff for their equipment, and then also client testimonials, traveling around the Twin Cities as well. But he also said, I met the president of the company the other day.
Oh.
And he said that a bunch of their equipment is being showcased and sold in another state this summer.
Which state?
I forget.
Mike, how do you forget?
Because I'm going to get dementia early. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. Kylie just nodded.
No, she actually shook her head no.
Oh, shook her head.
I don't know if that was disappointment that she didn't want you to, or she doesn't think.
Yeah.
Second one?
No, don't want him to.
Oh, she doesn't want you to get dementia. That's a good thing.
That's probably a good thing.
I find it funny that you forgot that. That seems like kind of important information.
Well,
it's not like Wisconsin or Iowa. Is it somewhere farther?
It's, I think, in the southwest of the U.S.
Southwest.
So I'm thinking like
That's like Arizona, New Mexico.
somewhere over there.
Somewhere over there. Okay. But are you gonna?
Anyways, Mike,
Are you gonna
continue.
get to go out
What-
there?
It's sounding like we're going to get to go out there
Oh, that's so sick.
and
That's
do some
hype.
video stuff there. So hopefully that lines up with a week that I'm here because I'm gone, I think, like 3 or 4 weeks in the summer. So hopefully
You're
that works
gone
out.
3 weeks in the summer.
Well, separate 3 weeks.
Well,
huh?
I know, but you're gone that much.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I have our cabin, masterpiece,
Oh, yep.
and trip with Kylie's family, and then just like random few days here and there that like will add up to a week.
Okay,
So
sounds good.
yeah. So that's a little bit about what I've done and what I'm doing.
Okay, we got to wrap it up. So, last question.
Do we? Oh yeah, I guess.
What's some advice that you would give to people that are like interested in your major?
How old are we talking? Like later high school
Let's
years?
talk freshman. A freshman in high school named
Freshman in
Tim
high school.
is
Tim.
listening to the pod.
Tim
and
DeBoy.
he's like, I want to be just like Micah when I grow up and be.
Tim, good
Yeah,
role
that is
model.
a great.
That's a solid person
as
to
long
wanna
as
be
Jesus
like.
is first, Jesus always number one role model. Micah can be a good second.
The first thing I'll say to Tim is
Yep.
you are absolutely correct for wanting to be just like me. Just kidding.
Is
just
anyone
kidding.
getting deja vu?
Is anyone getting deja vu right now? That's what they'd say when he grew up to be my age.
Yep.
I would say buy a camera. Not an expensive one, not a cheap one, but a good starter camera.
A Goldilocks.
A Goldilocks camera,
Yeah.
like the Canon T5i.
Just right camera.
Yeah.
Because I learned a lot about how cameras work and just how to make videos because I knew nothing about how cameras work before that. And I learned about everything, aperture, f-stop, ISO, all that fun stuff. I just bought a camera without even knowing any of that. And I just learned with experience. That's how I would say. Buy a camera, get to know it, get to know your camera really well, take it out on a date.
Take me out to dinner.
Take me out to dinner. And once you reach your college years, I'd say work really hard, network well, and show up to things. And I think this really applies to a lot of majors, but especially ones
Show
like
up to
video
class.
production. Show up to class, but also show up to things outside of class because you can go through, and this is the same with like theater and other things. You can show up to class and you can get a degree in video production, but how useful is that when you have no experience outside of class?
That is so good.
Because I joined Film Workshop, which is a class I'm in, Film Workshop, and within the first couple months, I said yes to multiple different projects that like upperclassmen were asking for help on. So they would do a crew call and be like, hey, we're looking for production assistants for this project I'm working on, or we're looking for extras to act in this thing I'm working on, or music video I'm working on. And I said yes to a lot of things because I wanted to get involved. I want to get my name out there. And I think that has led to a lot of really good things that I've been able to do. So I said yes to a friend of mine named Cade on a project, and we worked together a lot. We respect each other's work, and I'm doing camera for him for a senior project and stuff like that. So, and I said yes to being an extra on a music video that one of the girls in Film Workshop was producing, and one of an alumni of UNW named Jaden was doing camera for it, and I showed up to be an extra, but I also showed up one of the days before it to help set up, and also like was really invested the day of and like wanted to like kind of be more a part of it too. So I ended up being a production assistant too. And then I was able to work with Jaden and the guy who did the music video, Zach, on another music video a couple weeks ago, and I was able to do drone footage for them. So, and Jaden and Elizabeth were the ones that wanted me to come on and help with that. So they were able to see that I was a hard worker, and Jaden, who even I wasn't even at school with, saw that I like to work hard and I was willing to, and that's something that really helped me. So show up, work hard, buy a camera, practice, just make videos. Doesn't matter how good they are, how long they are, whatever, just do it. That's my advice.
I think Tim is in a very good spot.
Yeah, Tim DuBois is in a really good spot.
Yep. Yep.
I had one more quick question before you wrap it up.
All right.
I know, like, I think editing sort of used to be your thing. Like you said, you wanted to be a video editor. Just from stuff you've said, have you moved more towards liking camera work and cinematography more than editing? Kind of split half and half. Obviously, with what you're thinking of doing, you'll need to do both.
Yeah.
Because you're kind of doing it all yourself. But which one do you prefer now?
Definitely more cinematography. I think, honestly, what was holding me back before from being really into cinematography was my camera. Like I said, it was a good starter camera, but it only shot 1080p, and it was fine, but like it didn't look amazing. And people say like it doesn't matter what camera you have, like it's the practice and the skills you have, but like you do not realize how much confidence a good camera gives you in like doing cinematography. Like I think my abilities and like my knowledge in cinematography has gone up way more since I got my new camera than before, just because I like actually want to use it because it's a nice camera versus before I was getting older, getting more experience. And I was like, this camera really isn't great anymore. So I don't really want to shoot anything. So I think it was definitely editing before just because I had access to a professional video editing software and I was practicing with that. But now that I have access to a more professional, nicer camera, I think cinematography has definitely been what has been calling my name the last year or so. I still really enjoy editing, but I'd say cinematography is definitely number one now.
Yeah, I kind of got that sense. But you're just so good at both of them. It's been awesome to see like you just see the videos you've been making throughout college as I've not like been by you making them.
Yeah.
You've gotten so much better and all your videos are just sick. So
thank you, Josh.
Pretty epic.
Appreciate it.
Yo. Shall we wrap it up?
I think we shall.
Like a what, Joey?
We should wrap this up like I wrap myself up in my blanket before I go to bed.
That was a good one.
A Joey
so warm and
burrito.
cozy.
It is pretty cozy.
All right. Well, we hope you enjoyed our stories. We hope you enjoyed hearing more about Mike's epic major. You should probably do video too because you can be just like Mike. But with
Facts.
that, hope you all have a great day.
Catch you on the flippity flip.
Peace out, gangsta.